Bonjourne, bonjourne, bonjour, ¿cómo estás? Ni hao, konnichiwa. All right. We're here today by the good graces of our Creator. Give me one moment, please. In Him, Yahushua, Yahusha. In Him, Yahuwah, our Elohim, our Adonai. Now we're here today to be in the good, you know, grace of the fact that we've enjoyed a day to rest, to be happy, to smile, which is every day, but just so that we are clear, Saturdays are the days of rest. Okay? So I want you guys to all give yourself a clap to yourself because whatever that you endured today, I'm sure a lot of you have passed your trials. All right? And this is not a place where we encourage for the wrong things, but more so, you know, in the aspect of just understanding that life is bigger than just, money. It's bigger than just sex. It's bigger than just movies. It's bigger than just everything that is not really Christ related. Because Christ is the what more can you talk what can you not talk about Christ? What good can like it's bigger than anything that you cannot relevate. Did I say that wrong? I think I said that wrong. But if I said that wrong, please, I did not mean to say that wrong. But I was basically saying, English, that what is there more to talk about than Christ? We have everything that we need. We have everything that we need. Everything that we need. But then we compete over those things. We're given the abundance, abundantly over and more. Okay? So to say what? Today we're going to be talking about something very, very, very important. Okay? And it's important because a lot of times we go outside, we listen to people only preaching about making money, doing anything regarding money, right? Doing anything regarding this so you can have this, so you can shine and show more people this, but they don't include Yahuwah in it, not even in their journeys. Whoa. Oh, excuse me for that. Oh man, that was harsh. That was harsh. Okay, that was very harsh. Oh, excuse me for that, but that was very harsh. All right. And yes, what you digest is who you are. That'll be the topic of today. Excuse me for a second. These eyelashes is a bit annoying sometimes. I am not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know why I did that, but I thought I was showing something, but I guess not. Um, but yes. Oh my goodness. But yes. Okay. What you eat is what you digest. Meaning you are what you eat, right? So we're gonna get more into that. And we're gonna start off with what? Mark's chapter, well, the Chronicle of Mark. Saints Mark, my apologies. Chronicle of Saints Mark, right? Chapter 7. And this is important because, of course, we're always here to edify our spirit, and we're not going to be here for too long, but just the purpose of good. Okay? So we're going to start. I want you guys to grab your buy and bow so that you know where we're going to be at. You know what I mean? Without any problem. And of course, what I'm about to drink is not alcohol, by the way. It's just water and juice. Water and juice. And no, I'm not turning water into wine. All right? Not turning water into wine. I'm not even sure that there's pink wine out here. I'm pretty well, it probably is, who knows, right? I don't really care much. But That's been about 10 seconds or so more. Let's get started. All right. So, what does it say? Some Pharisees, amounting to some of the scribes that came from Jerusalem, came together. The expectation, this is the expectation of the common societal brainwash. Okay. This is the next one. All right. Now, upon seeing many of the disciples eating without proper utensils, they were, and they, well, they were barehanded, and they were, and the Pharisees were disgusted. Basically, that's basically that part right there. The Pharisees were disgusted. Oh, my apologies. Let me read that one more time. Now, upon seeing many of the disciples eating without proper utensils, they were barehanded, and that made the Pharisees disgusted. This was uncommon to them, seeing that they washed their hands often before eating, taught by their elders. All right. Just as when they come from the market with food, they wash them before processing further, as tradition taught English. As tradition taught them to use bronze platters such as pots and pans as they eat on tables. So curious, they asked Christ of his disciples, why do they eat with dirty hands? Christ then said to them, mind your business, hypocrites. For the prophets, for the prophecies given by Isaiah says, you speak of good, but your heart is not aligned with it. Right? And this is the translation of the law through opinion and power. And this is for the next verse, actually. The same way you worship me, teaching doctrines ideal to the commandments of the flesh and sin. So this relevated to the previous comment that he made. And this is Christ speaking, by the way. So they not only asked why the disciples do not practice the common, tradition that they witness, right? Or that they normally do in their daily lives, right? Is yes, of course, I'm not saying don't clean yourself, but at the end of the day, right? Just like that man that was dirty, that was asked to bathe. I don't remember his name in the verse exactly, but I do remember the scenario. He was asked to bathe in dirty, muddy water so he can be cleansed of his what? Infirmity. So you will be taught that yes, it's good to clean, but when your heart is not clean, it's not postured right, what good would it do? No, the amount of cleaning you do physically, if your spirit is not clean, right? Let's continue. Just like the way you keep the traditions of common practice of man's law, washing all things as you normally do. Like I said, as basically reiterating, basically refreshing what I just said previously. So be of in an understanding that you fully rejected Yahuwah's commandments in return of your idealistic traditions. So not only do people practice commonality of what? The common traditions, but it says that a lot of what we're doing is physical, is not spiritual. So we're washing the physical things of the world, but our spirit is dirty. It's very unclean. Like I said, when we speak of truth, right? And this is why every time when I pray, majority of the time when I pray, hopefully is understood on here, I always ask for truth, no matter what. Because it was in truth that all things was created. It wasn't out of lies. Because if it was lies, you would not exist. Nothing would exist if lies was what created the world. Okay? So let's continue. And well, yeah, this is how many are manipulated through translation. So what would they do is they would use the text, right? Just like it says, the devils, the Satans, the Lucifers, they know the Bible, they know the truth and way more than you. They know the holy scriptures way better than you. They're the ones who translated it through people so that we can have what we have. Yes, there are good people that were even possessed, that were manipulated, right? But yes, this is how they manipulate the community, the cities, the nations, is when they use the truth and the advantage of what they want you to do. That's called manipulation. Okay, let's go. It says, he Christ has said, even Moses said, speak well of your father and mother, for whosoever. He didn't say necessarily just honor, because you got to know what the word honor means. Honor just doesn't mean obey in a sense of just being a zombie. That means speak of good, speak of speak of peace, speak of love unto them. When you look at the word and you define honor, right? When we say we honor somebody, right? That means you're what? Uplifting the person. That means you're showing love to the person. It doesn't mean be a doll. It doesn't mean be a zombie, right? That means you uplift the person. That's why comprehension is very important when you speak, when you read as well. Because a lot of people, when they read the word, they don't know what a word means, or if they do know what a word means, they understand it only in the aspect of how somebody defined it. Look up the word honor. When somebody is being honored or has an honor roll, right, in school, right, what does that mean? They're being displayed at a higher altitude to say that, oh, this is a good thing, this person has done good, right? So speak good. It's never usually a physical thing all the time. It's usually a verbal thing. So that means what? You speak good of people. That's honoring, right? That's honoring, because anytime somebody is being honored, there's always a spokesperson, right? So you honor. So if you don't honor, what will happen? What happens next? It says, "For whosoever that speaks ill of them will be put to death." So it doesn't matter just in one side, because understand that problems don't happen between just one person. That means that there's a agree to disagree. So when you speak ill or negative about someone, you're sinning automatically. It doesn't matter if you put judgment. Even if your judgment is good or bad, when you speak negative, regardless, because you have to understand that you yourself have to realize that you walked in this situation. So that's why you are angry, that's why you're mad right now, because it's like saying this: you're driving in a car, right? And somebody that's in front of you, they have all the space to drive a little bit faster, but then they're just driving really slow in front of you. You're going to get irritated, right? But then there's also space for you to move to the right or to the left so you can get out of their way. So you can basically don't get into altercation. But no, you stay right behind them, driving behind them. You're hitting the what is it called? You're hitting the horn, beep 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 beep, but you can just drive to the left. You can drive to the right lane, to the left lane, right? And then when you finally decide to drive to the left lane or to the right lane, right? You turn down your window and then you start, giving them the finger, saying "F this, F that," cursing them. Now there's two altercations where the person disrespected you, but then you didn't have to disrespect them back. It's one thing where you can be in a dispute, but there's another thing when you speak of negativity. When you speak of negativity, if there wasn't a demon, now there's a demon. because it's going to look for somebody to feast off of their energy. That's how that usually works. It doesn't matter how righteous a person is. Wrong is wrong, right is right. It doesn't matter. Yes is yes and no is no. Okay? What does it say? Whoever that brings my name in the next verse, I'm gonna continue. Whoever brings my name and speak of joy to their mother and father, of their reassurance in me shall be set free. So not only are you supposed to speak peace, words of goodness, right? If you don't speak them to the people close to you, if they don't hear you, if they don't know that you're speaking of truth, right? That means you're not doing good. So, all Christians, we are examples to everybody. It doesn't matter what your status is. You can be a millionaire, you can be a homeless man. Understand that everything as far as our journey in life, right? Our journey is personal with Christ. But if somebody knows the truth and they deny the truth, that's different. Because we all, right? Like I said, like I told you in the previous videos, the thing about the devils and the demons and the fallens, right? They are trying to prolong people from knowing the truth so that they can prolong their time on this earth. That means what? They're trying to stop people from learning the truth so that they think that if people don't know the truth, right? That's going to stop Christ from really coming on this earth and taking away people or just bringing judgment into this world. It's never going to stop that. Because in some way, there's something that's going to pop up regardless. If it's not me, it's going to be somebody else. If it's not you, it's going to be somebody else. So they can't stop it regardless. They can try. That's the reason why you see a lot of these preachers, pastors, right? They start off good and then they go from starting off good to, you see a lot of scandals. People have been stealing, right? They've been stealing from the people of the church. They've been giving false prophecies. They've been doing all of these, even abducting children. They've been doing a lot of molestation. I don't know how to say that word properly, but yes, they've been doing a lot of stuff. You hear that they're affiliated to gangs. They have a bad reputation of stuff, and they do drugs, all of this stuff. They curse. That's because what the enemy has offered them, they took that. Either they knew it or did not know it. Because if they did not know it, that means that they were not called to stand. And if they were called to stand, that means there's going to be a retribution for the situation. All right. But let's continue though. It says, punish them no more, for they care of them dearly. So that was a reference to the previous verse, meaning whoever that brings Yahuwah's or Christ's name before many others, right? Do not punish them if they do wrong, because at the end of the day, right? What are they doing? They're doing what Christ is telling them to do. Because you're not doing it. Your pastors is not doing it. Because a lot of times you got to think about it like this. The amount of churches that is in this world, for the world to be exactly what it is right now and people are still blind, is wicked. In the United States, there's more churches than there are hospitals out here. Isn't that funny? That's hilarious. That is, it's hilarious, but not funny at this. It's not funny, but it's funny. Like, there are more churches out here in the United States than there are hospitals. Way more. So that means in every block that you walk in a neighborhood, you will see either one church or two churches. That's crazy. That is diabolical. That also means that every church, right? That means that every church is competing against each other. And that's what the Pharisees, the scribes, the elders, the chiefs, the chief priests was doing back then in the time of Christ. They were all doing that, competing against what church is better and what church is not. That's just the truth. That is just the truth. That's why when we read the word, right, it says that it's not the Bible, it's not the by and by that's going to give you the truth exactly. It's the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is what's going to teach you. Because when you're reading the word, you're looking at it through your physical eyes, but your spirit is not really understanding and grasping exactly what you're reading. Because remember, it wasn't a spirit that wrote the by and by. It was a man, but it was an inspiration through the spirit, right? So now we got to know the spirit that inspired the man to write the word. Because remember, it wasn't necessarily called the by and by, it was called the Holy Scriptures. So that means that the translation was changed by somebody else after the people that were inspired to write the Holy Scriptures. So to say that the translation of what we're reading, it doesn't matter what language we speak now. It can be Spanish, it can be Italian, it can be French, it can be English, right? That means that the by and by was translated so that it can be perverted, meaning there's when people, you got to understand psychology, right? Psychological manipulation. That's the reason why you see a lot of people that are doing these things out here and that are doing a lot of wicked and evil things out here. They use the word. It's because of the translation. Word is power, meaning the understanding of a word gives you the root of what? Of power. So when you don't understand what a word means, it doesn't matter. See, when you have the Holy Spirit, right? It's like you can see things at the root of what it is. You can see a problem for what it really is. Sometimes you have to be patient because there are certain things that you can fight and there's certain things that you just cannot fight, that you have to just say, Yahuwah, I don't even know what's going on, please take control of this situation. And there's some things that you're given the reason to fight, but then you're told to not fight because there might be a certain good outcome that might come from that. Meaning, if people are fighting against each other in a war, right, that means that if you can come and solve the problem, but then you're told to not solve the problem, that means that Yahuwah has a bigger plan in the hand of the situation. So if he's going to solve it, you don't, the one thing that I say is you don't want you I would rather people punish me than than Elohim to punish me, because when he punishes people is way worse than people punishing people. A lot of people don't understand it. When you get punished by your creator is way worse than people punishing people, because he knows you better than anybody else. That means he knows what you like and what you do not like. Completely 100%. That goes from a spiritual level, that goes from a psychological level, an emotional level, and a physical level. Metaphysic, astrologic, it doesn't matter. So when they say fear, right, your creator, your master, it's not in the sense of saying that, oh, you have to walk like you cannot have love in your heart. No, it's more so understand the possibilities of the problems that you can get. But a lot of people are not fearful. So they speak of his name in vain. They don't fear anything. They walk in pride. They boast of their names. But let's continue, because we have to really understand these things. The church is not going to tell you these things at all. I can promise you that. A lot of these churches are not. Even Revelations told you that a lot of the churches, the spirit of the church is dead. What is in those churches are the spirit of Jezebels. That's why I don't go to churches like often. And you people can talk about spiritual fathers, but hey, if you have a spiritual, I spoke to somebody one time on the phone, right? I'm not gonna say their name, but I spoke to somebody on the phone one time, and I will say that they are close to me, as like close to me, right? And they told me that you can't trust anybody to be your spiritual father, and I was very agreeing to that statement. But at the same time, I had to remind them that if the Holy Spirit tells you to go to somebody, right, and that being the person, yes, you can be cautious however that you want, But if that person is responsible to intercede for you for the kingdom of the heavens, right? To speak to Yahuwah, meaning he might go through he might go through a situation where he might gain, right, access to your creator and be somebody that can, through his trials and tribulations, he might gain access, right, on being able to communicate with the Holy Spirit more than you, because of the things that he goes through, because of the things that he went through. Maybe he was accused of fraud, right? Maybe he was stealing. He used to steal and he was called a pastor, right? And eventually Yahuwah punished him and he learned a lesson. And then now he's being able to be good. But then on record, it says that he stole from the church or he did this, right? You would not know who the people that Christ will use to actually help you. The person can be homeless. You think that person is homeless. You don't even know it could be an angel the whole time. And you're just looking at that person like they're nothing. You can speak negative of that person as if they're nothing. And you don't even know that a gift was sent to you and you rejected it. This is what it means to be wise, is to not judge without any reason. Meaning, look at the good in everything, even when something is bad, even when somebody is not in their right place. Listen, contradiction cannot come from love because truth is love. Everything was made in truth. And in the truth, love was also created, because if somebody did not love you, you would not exist. That includes the entire reality that surrounds you. That means the air, you share the air with animals, with insects, with plants, with other people. So if that's not called love, because you cannot breathe, you cannot inhale and exhale without saying the name of your creator. So that means with every breath you take, you speak of the word of your creator, even when you don't say it. That's true love. So contradiction cannot exist if you speak of truth. It cannot even exist within your premises or your radius. It cannot exist. It can't. I have moments where I get intrusive mindsets, right? Where I have things that will come to my mind that I know that is not me. So the moment those things come to my mind, I tell it, get away from me. I have no business with you. Because why? I have no business with entities that are contradictive. Negative mindsets. I have no business with those things. I have none. Because I pray every single day. I read the word every single day. Not only that, I get visions when I'm supposed to. Some people I'm supposed to tell those visions. Some people I don't, because it's not meant for their time to be told those things. I used to get dreams when I was very young, and still to this day I remember all of those dreams because they were very important, and every single dream is manifesting one by one. Every single one of them. They're manifesting one by one. One by one. Every single one of them. See, dreams are interpreted, right, in the aspect of how we perceive life. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly what you expect it to be, the way that you saw it. It's going to be symbolic. So that means that there are going to be things that's going to be included, things that's going to be excluded. But it's the grand image of the entire picture is exactly what you're going to get. Okay? Let's continue though. I want to make sure that we get through this properly. All right. False teachings. This is going to be the next one. False teachings. All right. And the reason why I called this next verse, verse 13, false teaching, is because first of the number 13, right? And eventually you're gonna realize it. Please look up the number 13, and it's called oh, I'm not even gonna say it, but just look up the number 13, right? And just do your just have fun with that. However much you want to have fun with that, okay? Just look up the number 13, right? And then just put false teachings next to it. There's something that's going to pop up. I don't know what is, right? I might have a clue, I might not, right? So who knows, right? But you're just gonna have fun, all right? You all make the word of Yahuwah irrelevant in your daily practices through your traditions, which you all have spread, saying many false ideals of sin that you still practice now. So the traditions that have been set, that has been wrong for periods of longs of years, people do not know that is wrong. So because they don't know that is wrong, they keep practicing it, thinking that it's okay, not seeing any flaws in it, thinking that it's okay, right? And what did Christ say about it? Why do you think all of the other all of the other nations like the Atlanteans, they died. They were washed off. They were washed off because they practiced the pagan what attribute of life. They practiced the ancient what practice of what pagan lifestyles, sacrifices, offerings. You're supposed to give, right? An offering is not the same thing as sacrifice. Sacrifice is taking in a sense of yourself, because you can't give a sacrifice unless it pains you. So there's pain with sacrifice. Offering is of the gratitude of good of an exchange. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let's continue. So Christ then announced this very openly, attracting many to his side as he told them to listen carefully and understand his words. The next verse says, filthy, the next verse is more so talking about the filthy spirit. Filthy words will corrupt. So with the filthy spirit, your words will what? Be filthy as well. So if your spirit is not clean, all you're going to be doing is speaking about unclean things. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you help the homeless, if you help this person, it does not change anything, because the next verse is going to speak about that very, very clearly. And what does it say? It says, all whosoever speaks their words will match the layer of their spirit. Meaning what? Whatever that you have in your spirit, as you speak, your spirit that spirit will also be what? It will also what? It will take shape. It will be exactly who you are, as the words will also corrupt. So let's continue. It says, so if the spirit within is defiling, so will the words unto you. So if their spirits is defiled, if their spirit is unclean, what do you think they're going to be feeding you as far as words? They're going to be feeding you unclean words. It might sound good because they give you words from the actual buy and bow, but it doesn't mean that those words that they give you was their intention was clean. See, when you know the buy and bow, right? When you know the scriptures, right? When somebody speak to you, you have to remember, you have to remind them that I can see through you like you are, as if you are naked. Because remember, it's not that you are feeling any type of way. Remember Adam and Eve, right? When Adam and Eve ate off the apple, it wasn't until they felt guilty that they noticed the garment of what? That they were naked. The garment of their what? Perception. The garment of their innocence. They did not know that they were naked. So the guilt within you is going to manifest and you're not even going to notice. You're not going to notice. See, there's something called having a guilty mindset. Having a guilty mindset make you act a certain way. I will tell you guys this because I used to lie. And I'm telling you guys this up front right here. I will never lie to you guys about anything of my father's words. I used to lie. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people lied before, right? I used to lie. I used to lie a lot. I didn't lie about everything, but when there were situations that I did not want to make worse, like any kid does, right? Because when you're a certain age, you do lie, right? It's not everybody, but I used to lie. I used to steal, but I wasn't much of a stealer. I wasn't much of a thief than I was a liar. I lied a lot. Things that weren't necessary, I lied. Even things that I did not. It was so bad that even when I told the truth, people still didn't believe me. That's how bad it was. And I stand up here, like I said, I am not gonna lie to you guys. I don't need to lie. Because what is there for me to lie? When people pray, imagine, let's put it like this. When you pray, right? And you pray, you have to remember that your heart matters when you pray. So are you coming to your creator as yourself, or are you coming as a character that you created to speak to your creator? Are you coming with your full heart? Are you coming with your intention that who you are, or is it something that's made up, that's not real? Because a lot of times people pray, but then their heart is not in the place of their prayer. Does that make any sense? I want you guys to understand that. So when you pray, right, do you come as yourself? Do you come as yourself? Or do you come as somebody else? Because you have to remember prayer is about truth. Because do you think that Yahuwah is going to really answer your prayer if you do not, if you come as somebody else, if you come up as an anime character, like you made up your character? No. He asks you for who you are, because how can he save a character if it's not you? How can Christ save you if you're not you? So be real or you're going to be fake. It's one of the first things about this entire thing right here. Because when you're fake, all you're doing is stagnating. All you're doing is pushing back your salvation. You're not allowing salvation to come onto you because you're not even being real to your creator. So when every time you pray, your prayer is just going left and right. It's never going up. Yes, Yahuwah can hear your prayer, but it does not mean that he's going to answer them. So if he doesn't answer them, who do you think answers your prayer when it doesn't go to him? The devils, the demons, the fallens, of course. It's very simple. So let's continue, because I want you guys to really understand this. All right. So those who heard will hear and understand, as Christ said, right? When they went into the house privately, his disciples asked him of the meaning of his parable. So what did Christ say? He was shocked by their response. He then asked them, "Did you all not understand the meaning of the parable?" Like when you don't listen to strange ideals, it doesn't affect you as long as it doesn't come from within you or enters you. Meaning, when somebody is saying something that does not make sense, right? It's not what exactly you're taking in, it's how you're taking in. Because when you take it in, it does it go to your stomach or does it go to your heart? Meaning your heart keeps it forever, and your stomach, you digest it, right? You understand it, and then you poop it out, which is still defiled, because it would defile your ears. Your ears are an open gate. Your ears are a gate. Your eyes are a gate. Your mouth is a gate. Well, everything about you is a gate, right? So, like I said, like I already spoke about the next verse, but we're gonna still read it anyways, right? It says what in the next verse? Just like when you eat, doesn't it go to your belly and not your heart before coming out the other side? So, like I said, your heart. So when you hear things that are not truth, do you keep it in your heart, or do you digest it and then it comes back out? Meaning you understand that what you heard was nothing. See, when he said that, right, the filth, the defile, right, he was talking about poop. right? But then we know that poop, we call it SHIT, the sugar honey iced tea. When somebody's telling you sugar honey iced tea, that means they're not telling you nothing, right? That means they're not telling you anything. So therefore, so you understand, because your heart is already postured to not take in within your heart, but you're able to digest the information to understand exactly what you're listening to. Just like the Pharisees knew exactly that Christ, right, was the true being. That's why they kept being annoying. They kept asking him for signs. They kept asking him for this, as far as, oh, can we get a miracle? Can we get a sign? And he called them what? Hypocrites. Because those are the people, like a lot of people go to churches, they look for signs, they look for all of these miracles. Do you not know that Christ said that right when he left, that everything that he does, we all are able to do, and 10 times more? So if you tell the mountain to move, the mountain will move to the sea just because of your faith. Let's continue. It says, but it's the dirt that comes out of them that's corrosion, meaning it is what? The sugar honey iced tea. Because I don't like saying that word, it's very offensive, right? It's the sugar honey iced tea, right? That is dirty. That is what we rub onto each other, that we teach each other. Okay? So what's next? So inside of them, their hearts are filled with the intentions of evil thoughts, idolatry, fornications, murders, thievery, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, right? Lasciviousness, right? And evil eyes, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. And these are the influences that possesses many through words unto that accepts them. Meaning your gates, when you accept all of these things, contradiction comes, doubt comes, sin comes. So you're opening doors, because when you have doubt, that's an immediate, like, it's like if you have 5 layers, 3 layers of defense, right? One layer is broken because you lost doubt. Then you lose another level of doubt. Now you have one layer left of defense. Do you think that that last layer is strong enough to withhold axes and cannons and grenades? No, it could, but no, it's not. They're gonna crack straight through that, like it ain't nothing. Like it's called a rubber ball. They're gonna straight crack through that. They're gonna straight crack through that. So you have a defense, right? Where you already know, when your heart posture is foundational, is standing on truth regardless. It doesn't matter how they come, they're going to come regardless, because they know that you are the one. They know that you are the one. They know. And if you, let's say you are in a relationship, right? Your partner might be the one that's on fire. They're going to attack you because you might be the weaker one, but it doesn't mean that they're going to do certain things, because if your partner is on fire, they know not to do certain levels of things. They might do things out of pettiness, but if your partner is on fire and you're just walking in your road and trying your best on what you will be all right. You will be all right. But at the same time, it's like there's certain things that you're going to have to really work on. We all got to work on things in life. It's either we're taught or we learn on our own. Simple, right? But yes, you will be attacked. Both of you, one of you, whatever the case is. If you're single, one of you, they might even use family members. They might use friends. They might use people you care about. They basically sum it all up. They might use people that you care about. I care about every last one of you. Anybody and everyone that either watches this video or don't. I care about every last one of you. Okay? So they will use family members. They will manipulate. They will manipulate as much as they possibly can just to get that advantage. Just to get that advantage. Because if they can get that advantage, they can weaken one of your shields. And if they can weaken one of your shields, they'll be able to weaken the next one. And it all starts with doubt and trust and belief. Pride, you might think that pride is not a level of doubt. Yes, pride is also doubt. Because what happens with pride? You overlook the little stones. What's that meaning? Every stone must be no. There's no stones that's not gonna be turned. I don't remember the exact way to say it, but yes, you get what I'm trying to say though. I'm pretty sure a lot of you do. Um, don't leave no stones unturned. Every stone has to be turned because you never know exactly the creatures that's lurking underneath. Every last one. Family members will definitely be one of them. People you care about that has been close to you, they will definitely be one of them. It could be friends, people that anybody that you confine yourself to or that you're around, they will be the ones that will be used with them knowing it or not knowing it. If they know it consciously or they do not know it consciously, that's just how that is. So it's up for you to be strong enough to know yourself and the truth, to walk in that light yourself and not be held accountable to their problems in the sense of basically they don't know exactly how to accept the truth. You have to make sure that you are the example. Even if it takes a million years, you have to let them know, like, yes, this is Christ right here. This is the truth right here. This is how this is supposed to be right here. Please, if you want to say anything about me, say anything that you want about me, but do not say anything about my creator. So for a lot of you that are being attacked right now, even if it's a spiritual thing, if it's a physical thing, my dear heart compare like it goes on to you. It goes to you. I'm in pain for you. I really care for you all. So if you're physically attacked right now, I don't know what to say, but I will definitely pray for you. But if you're also spiritually attacked the same way, my condolences onto you. Not that somebody passed away, but just that, we don't deserve this. But a lot of us, we choose it. So we can either choose peace, truth, or, you know, stupidity. We know the truth. We've seen the truth. We feel the truth because one thing that doesn't lie is truth. If there's truth, how can there be lies unless you expect the lie to be a lie, right? Meaning, well, you accept the lies to be a lie. So you're expecting it to be a truth, but then you know that it's a lie, but you want it to be the truth. On this channel, we speak truth. That's why sometimes people might hate me. They won't even like what I say. They won't even give the chance to watch what I say because they know that the truth is gonna hurt. It's gonna relate to a lot of what they've been going through in life and what they're definitely not gonna like. They're definitely I'm just gonna say that they're definitely not gonna like it. And it's not my job to make people comfortable in the sense of liking the truth. You must love the truth because it will set you free. Okay? Let's continue. So after teaching them these things, he stood and they prepared to head to the border of Tyre and Sidon, and where no one would have known his location, but it'd be eventually found like usual. A very influential man, okay? He sat with the politicians, all right, and those that were sinners. That's another thing that the Pharisees hated that. They wanted to have control over his power and his influence. They couldn't. I gave you guys a lot of hints. Please take it as you hear it. All right. There, at the new location, a random woman came and bowed before him at his feet. This woman was a Greek Phoenician from Syrophi- Syrophysian, from Syrophysian in Syria, and she pleaded unto Christ to cast out demons from her daughter. Verses 27. And this is what I call witchery practice, right? Because I also want you guys to also understand this. The simple acts of what we do, we don't even know. And she might not have been a witch, but there are certain things, even the animals can be cursed. When you feed your animal before your person, before people, understand that it's accounted for. Meaning what? There can't be a table and you're feeding and like you feed your animals before your or you take the food of your kids and you just give them to the animals. That'd be wrong. I don't mind pets, right? But I don't mind pets. My apologies. I don't mind pets, but it's like, a pet, a person. You got a person, you got a pet. Now, the only way you're going to consider a pet over a person is if that's your spiritual animal, right? And I'm not saying that that's good. I'm saying that, in a way to say that if that's what you are in, like the topic of that specific verse, like I said, practice, right? Yeah, it's going to be problematic for you. All right. I had a dream once. I'm gonna tell you guys this, and this was earlier today. I was congratulated for something, right? And there was a whole bunch of technological stuff going on, as if I had gotten a prize of doing something. I don't know what it is 100%, but I do know something is happening. Something is happening, right? It might not be a physical thing, but it's a spiritual thing. I saw somebody that I went to school with. It's kind of weird because I dated this person for like a day. I believe it was like 1 day or 2, 3 days or something like that. But yeah, and they were there with their partner, and it's kind of weird though. Like, and they comforted me and left their partner. It was kind of weird, but hey, there's a lot of weird stuff. Nothing weird happened in the sense of like sexual and nothing like that. It was more so like support. I kind of teared up because I didn't even expect whatever that was going on with the whole congratulations to happen. Everything was virtual. That's all I'm going to say. And I was in a place where, you know, you would see a lot of virtual, experiences. The best way for me to say it right now, right? If that was to be a word, people probably would have called me an engineer, right? But the other word, all right. But I'm not. Like I said this in the previous videos, I don't wear no wizardry crown, no warlock crown, none of this wicked witchery crown. No, I'm not carrying none of that around me. Like, I look at people like, who do you take me for? You know what I mean? But let's go. Christ said, and this is verse 27. Christ then said, let the little ones eat first, for it's a malpractice to throw their food at dogs. But the dogs still ate after the kids off the crumbs off of their crumbs and scraps. After telling her that he ordered her to leave, for her daughter was restored, and she did so and came home and saw that all was made well. Just a simple act of kindness. That's all. A simple act of kindness. A simple a simple act of kindness. Let's look onto the next one. From there in Tyre and Sidon, Christ and his disciples left and ventured through the Sea of Galilee. unto Decapolis. Decapolis. I like that word, Decapolis. Metropolis. A lot of people don't be getting these hints. From upon reaching there, immediately there a deaf man was stuttering and was brought to him so he can be healed. Christ, hearing this, then moved the man to the side and placed his finger, well, to the side privately, and placed his finger on his tongue and stuck them in his ear and looked up and said, Ephatha, 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 E, open, Fata, Ephatha, right? Which means open these doors. Open these doors. Immediately, the man began hearing again and started to speak normally, and started to speak also normally. Now, doing so, he told the man to say silent. He told the man, my apologies, my apologies. Now, doing so, he told the man to stay silent. But the more he said it, the more they considered their joy, the more he considered his joy and delight. All they were astonished and marveled, seeing what he has accomplished, making the deaf hear and the dumb speak. And that was the multitude. You know, it has gotten to a point where certain things now, when it comes to words, it's like you kind of, how can I say it? You can understand certain things when you just look at it. Like you don't have to have a definition. And when it's important for you to understand in the way that it's supposed to be understood, you understand it that way. And it makes a lot of sense. It's different. One day I might want to actually draw the original map and just show you guys. I think that's what I would do. Just to give you guys a little, I might not put everything on there, but I'll give you guys a real definition of what we call a geographical map. Mm-hmm. Because there's some people that know about the firmament, right? But they still choose to align with zodiacs. And this is not me throwing any shade. But you know, like I said, like I told her, it's much love because we all learn, right? We are all learning. And if it was a way to test me, I'm not mad at you. Whoever sent you, they're really my biggest issue. And I'm not mad at them either. Hopefully they're people and they haven't lost themselves too far. Right. But if you know there's a firmament, right, that means you know about the watchers. So that means you should know about the zodiacs. Zodiacs is not the same thing as the seasons. The seasons that we are given, right, through astrology, right, there's a difference between studying the stars and knowing the navigations and all of the things that can occur when it comes to these changing seasons. But the stars itself is a whole different dilemma, especially when the zodiacs they have a name, and these names are practices known for titles. Like you can't say that your sign is Aries, right? And you're gonna be like, oh, I'm a peaceful person. But then what do you think? What happens a lot of times? People are gonna be like, oh, he's a warish person. They like war. But then there are a lot of people that are Aries that don't, right, quote unquote Aries, that are born around that month or in that month, right? And they don't act exactly like those signs. Why? Because what you call upon yourself is what you become. Like I said, the message of today's day, you are what you digest. You become it. You embody it. You live it. You are it. So if you consider yourself weak, if you think that you don't have the chance to live according to the standards of our Creator, you will become it. If you keep practicing the stuff that you're doing, shifting, converting, getting these animals, insects, whatever the case is, people call nowadays, and you want to change because you want a certain or a better life, right? You could have a better life, but the reason why certain things are just not working in a certain aspect is because you're not going to be around certain people doing some things that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Two of the opposite spirits do not collide. They don't. They just don't. And for people that are single, friends, family, possible relations, people that are together, friends, family, possible in your relationship from near or far. If anybody's doing anything witchery, I'm going to just let you know right now. Either you're not supposed to be with that person or you're supposed to be with that person. So if you are the person to be strong, and what did I say? You're the person on fire in the previous message, and you're the person on fire. Know that it's no pressure, but that person is your responsibility. Whoever that it is that's in your life that you're supposed to be with, they are your responsibility. You're just not supposed to, shake their head, yeah, and grab their neck. You're not supposed to do all of that. Just talk to them. And if you can't talk to them and give them what you're supposed to tell them, and they don't want to listen, they don't even want to try to talk to you, they will be going through the hardship of misunderstanding, confusion, whatever that it is. You're going to be still fighting some of their people of problems because the demons that are fighting them, they're not trying to lose. They are not trying to lose. That means family, friends, relations, whatever that it is that you have in this world. Those demons do not want to lose their vessels. That alone, if a contract was made before the kid can even know that there was a contract made upon their life, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. But then you gotta understand when a kid grows, they are able to make decisions of their own. It's just the influence that allowed the demons to gain power, so the demons can fully take over, or the devils, or whatever the fallens you want to call them. But yes, if you're supposed to be together, supposed to be around each other, family, friends, relations, whatever it is, right? You gotta fight for your people. You gotta pray for them. You gotta think about them in a positive way. You always gotta make sure that they're good, even if you don't talk to them. Even if you gotta be a little. I'm gonna look around here. I'm not gonna look in your direction. And then whenever they happen to check up on you, let them know, yeah, I still care. I just want you to be doing better. I just want you to be better. I want you to not be falling for these traps. I don't want you to be acting the way that people are making you act because it's not good. It's not good. one person can have but so much patience, right? It's good to be loving, to be understanding. That doesn't mean that Yahuwah would not put somebody else in the way. I only care because that's how I'm supposed to care. Unconditional love is unconditional love. So if your friend did you wrong, you gotta still be a friend to them. That don't mean you gotta talk to them every day. Sometimes you gotta pick once in a blue moon, check up on them, to say, yeah, you're alive. All right, I understand. Hey, can we talk about this? Can we hang out? Can we smile? Ooh, that's fine. Family as well. Relations, whatever that is, right? As well. Well, between man and woman. I'm not saying whatever that is, so people can just, oh, he said whatever that is. No, between man and woman. I'm not here for the BS because there are people that are losing their lives because there are people out here that are losing their life. I just literally watched a story where hopefully it's not true and it's just a propaganda, for a say so situation. But a man killed his wife because he was messing with dudes and he had 3 kids with her. Hopefully, it wasn't his kids, or maybe out of those three. One out of those, three was probably his. But you had 3 kids with a woman. You started messing with men. Messy situation. You know, I'm not gonna say names because it doesn't need to be said, but the lesson needs to be understood. It needs to be very much understood because now the kids are motherless when they could have been a family, a happy family. But desires and lust, power, because I'm pretty sure when people do stuff like that, it's not just because they get caught, it's because it's usually a spiritual thing that has to do with the word called sacrifice. Because if you're a man and you like men and you have a woman, imagine going to jail. You're gonna see all the men that you're not gonna like and that you probably gonna like. That's a ending story right there for you. Mm-hmm. So to the condolences of that woman, and I pray for the betterment of that man. I hopefully he get his mind right with that situation and that Christ can come into his life and help him. But situations, like I said, situations. So for the rest of you all, take in accounting as exactly what I said, because if people want to talk, you can talk. Put in the comment sections. I will reply. I will say whatever that I need to say. Okay, because you see my eyes again. I'm getting lower and lower because I'm getting a little bit tired, right? But I'm gonna say whatever that I need to say to you guys. So you guys, if you want to answer, you want to question, whatever, you want to talk, whatever, right? And yeah, some people they watch the videos, but they don't watch it all the way. I don't be intending to make these videos this long. I really don't. But can't really shy away from the truth. I'm here for you all. I love you all. I really do. So yeah, I'm not here to just talk about relations or ships, right? Or family and ships, right? And friend and ships, right? Because it's more and much more deep into that. We have to first build our foundation on Christ. Because a lot of people are messing up right now. Messing up all the way. And don't be fearful, don't be scared. But be understanding that whatever that life you used to live, can't bring that around here. Be yourself. How can I deny yourself when I'm not denied myself before Christ? You got to make that make sense a little bit. I love you. All right. And I hope that you are better as a person, however that it is. I don't control your destiny. I'm only supposed to accept the good of you, not necessarily the materialistic things. It doesn't have to be your physical attribute. It doesn't have to be what you have financially, statistically, on a stature, whatever. How many friends you got? Whoa, no, just who you are. That's why I love you all, because I come here as I am. I'm a little bit tired. Yes, you could tell because my eyes are dimming low. And no, I do not smoke weed. I used to, but I don't. And I don't take none of these pills, no Adderall, whatever, acid, whatever, Percocets. I don't do none of those things. I have me my little drink right here, and that's not wine or alcohol. That's just, a drink. So I'm gonna say this. Much love unto you all. I pray that all of you are good. And yeah, much love to you. Much love to you. And much love to you all. Ho, ho. Uh-huh. Bonne journée. Une autre fois. And yeah. Adios. That's funny. But yes. Love you all. Don't know what else to say. And somebody don't say that they love, if somebody did not say that they love you today, tell them I said I love them. And also tell them I said that I love you. So another kiss on you. Love you.